Hello everybody, this is Talamir here on another Redstone stream of the Redstone Scholar. So just give me a second, I'm going to throw on some music. It's way too loud, of course, just bring it on down. And there we have it. Some just good, relaxing music. Let's just get everything sorted. Here we go. I get my face off of there. And we can go on in to our redstone testing world. This is what we're looking at right now. This is my first model of the vending machine. And I really love how much I managed to compress it down. It's doing exactly what I want it to do for one item. One item and only one item. So obviously, as you can see from the title, guys, we're going to make this, like, I don't even know how many. I'm going to try going, let's start off with 4 and see how that goes. Before anything else, is we're going to make ourselves a base layer without the upper section of this. So we'll have like all these parts in here, all the ghibli bits for getting the diamonds on through, but there will be no system in here for determining the processing of those items. This clock right here is specific to what item I've gotten here. That's, just going and piecing this together here. Like I've got chests in here right now just for the sake of having something in there as a test sample. And just as a reminder of what it does, we'll grab some items. And let's see what this is set to for that. So it's got 5, 8, and then 16. I think this is 16 items. So if we put in 1 diamond, we should get 16 items. I'm pretty sure that's what that one means. There we go. 16 items. All right, I was correct. That always feels good. All right, let's go on in here, and we're going to start grabbing blocks. And the idea there is we're going to have everything set up, except there's some parts here that will not be in here, and it kind of squishes it down some. Then I'll just have, as I said before, a water stream coming in here, and then separate water streams coming all off the sides. Or maybe it just might be one, and then you have a whole slew of droppers just popping in through each side. Like literally, this thing has the potential of being as large as you want. It does not need to be limited to 4 items or 8 items. You could make this thing as large as you want. You could make it possible to do as many as every single item that's on the server, I'd bet. Pretty much any item could be put up for sale through this system. The only problem is that there's no easy way, at least, to determine whether or not there is product available. So what I could do is I could make an AND gate that if there's one product that is out of stock, it turns off the entire system and maybe it locks the system down, or maybe it pushes a block up that prevents items from being put into the system until that one has been addressed. Sure, that would mean that none of the other items that are in there are any longer available. I mean, nothing could be bought. But at least the person that owns the shop could come by and say, oh, this is out of stock. And then they would disconnect that one line. There's ways to go about it. We're going to go 2 blocks up. And then we're going to go and put down the soul sand. Okay, so that's one thing out of the way. I don't even need this anymore. Then we're going to go and put down some glass. And I think it was 2 blocks up. And this block right here would be broken. You'd need to put a couple of blocks to the side. And this would be the input chute. Maybe even break that one, and we'd put maybe some ice down. Just put some packed ice. You don't need anything special here. And then on the side there, maybe a sign would be okay. And now you remember, this needs to go on up, all the way up to whatever level. Flooring is not that far up, actually. It's just 1 more block. So it goes like this. Oh, I gotta hold down shift. For some reason on signs you can click endlessly. So it's like this. Comes out 1, Oh, this right here is actually the... Yeah. That's going to be the dropper. Really? 1, 2, dropper, and then underneath there is the hopper. So that's where that is. Good. We're getting somewhere. So there needs to be another hopper underneath there, going into there. I'm not putting it in right now, but you can do that. Okay, let's go and put this item filter on in. This is where the redstone torch is going to lock the bottom piston. I'm gonna put it in this design right here like that. Then up. There we go. Nice and squished and small. Can you imagine I actually had this build memorized? I am definitely not... I definitely don't have it memorized now. Okay, it's going out 2 from there. So 1, 2, that block doesn't need to be there. Then it goes out like that, and you got 1 going into there. When I was recording this for making the... What do you call it? The tutorial on this, I built this thing, I think 6 or 7 times over before I had it memorized over and over and over again, rebuilding it until I had the placement of every block memorized by heart. Oh gosh, I didn't know that this actually worked. The fact that you can use a dropper to push items, like doing it with a hopper, but you can take a dropper to push items into a chest. I never knew that before. I stumbled upon it. It was just something I tested and it worked. And I was like, huh, well, how about that? I didn't know that was a thing. You'd probably use the block that underneath it if you could. But something like that. Let's say that one is selling those and the next one is selling target blocks. I was hoping not to have it to do it this way. I would be better off just using a whole slew of observers. And what I'm going to end up using for this is a whole bunch of RS NOR latches. And what that's going to do is it's going to turn off everything else. In the meantime, let's build this stream out, because this is going to be definitely the backbone of this. And I don't know how far along this is going to go, and how much space I need for each one. I need to figure out how I'm going to connect each one of these up. So if these are on this side, and this down here is also on this side, I think I'm going to use it on this side for all of the for the clocks themselves. So I'll just put 1 dropper here. Let's get those droppers down so we know where everything is. I can put it all the way into here. Yeah, like that. And down 1. Like that. That's how I've got that one over there. And then you just need to have a piston pointing up like that. So what I was thinking from there is to put a block like right there, but it needs to have 2 signals coming out of it. That's important. And that's because it's pushing the information for the bus back to here, and it needs to have 1 signal in and 1 signal out for every single module. It needs a signal in and a signal out. And that's an interesting situation that I got to deal with. Now I just need to go and put myself down some of these critters. There. So what do I got this at now? I got it at 4. I wish I could make it smaller, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make it smaller than that. This is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6. So this in and of itself is a lot smaller. Already, it's 2 blocks smaller. I don't think I can make it smaller than that. There's no feasible way to make this smaller, because I need a signal off of this side and that side. Alright. It is as it is. I'm considering note blocks right now. I don't think this will work, but I'm going to try. Oh. Oh! Oh, 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 oh. Oh, hoo, hoo. That's a glorious sound right there. And to accommodate this, you would just need to use more observers. Now, if I was to put another note block over here, no, I'm not going to use a note block. Let's just use another. Let's see something very visual in size. Let's do it that way. Single pulse. And you notice on the way down, it's not doing anything. That single pulse is very important to me. Okay, let's just delete those. This is no longer interfering. We've just brought it down to 4 blocks. Congratulations. Oh, that makes me so happy. So that's the other part here. Now we have a bus, and this one's really simple. This one's a lot simpler for the whole shot. Let's just see how we can go about this one. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. First off, we're gonna make our etho hopper block. I'm building this wrong. What's wrong with me? This is the side we want powered. Just keep that in mind. This is the side. This right here is the side that needs to be powered. Now, if I put a redstone torch right there, that should do the trick. That's 1 unit done right there. Now, I'm just gonna go and put the bus in for this. This thing's huge. Like, there's no way to compress this down. I mean, I could bring this in by 1. I actually could. And it would just power block directly underneath instead. I could do that. But forward 1. Paste. Let's see if that does the trick. I did it. Okay. Unfortunately, I broke my sign, which means I'm going to have to throw it back up there again. That's not a big deal. There's the interesting part right there. This right here needs to interrupt the correct signal. And the one that needs to interrupt is, in fact, this block right here. It needs to interrupt the connection to this block. So how it would do that is it would need to make sure that there's no way for this to turn off. So what I may do, instead of using a redstone torch to power this, I might instead use an RS NOR latch. Now I was saying that no, I don't need to use that, but that may be the best method. This is the part that's going to be the same for every single one of them. It's a trigger just for pushing out another diamond. That part right here, okay, just a reminder, this part right here, I want to first extend the length of this signal to make sure that it actually does get through. And then I'm going to need to put a line of redstone dust along every single one of these in order to get it back to here in order to power this. Let's do it. Okay. Put it on that level there. And that should be fine. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. That should be okay. That shouldn't cause any problems. And going on to there would power this, and if there was any diamonds in there, then it should spit up 1. Let's just put that whole stack in there. There's nothing in there at the moment. So let's just pretend that 1 item got through. So it got pink, and 1 diamond is in their chest. So when that does that, that's all it's doing. It's just clearing out another diamond out of the circuit so that it can go and put in the next one. The question is, how far can I put that down? Can I just do... Like, was that even enough to send a diamond? It was. I didn't even see it, but it did it. Now, as this gets larger, I am going to need more repeaters into the circuit. Let's just put some items on in and just see how it goes. We'll put 5 in here. Do I have this backwards? I feel like I've got this backwards, and I'm really unhappy about that. What happened? Oh! Oh no. Oh, that makes perfect sense though. So it's this one right here. And that does mean that I need to change some things. So I'm going to go undo. This is glorious. Look at that. Boom, it's gone. I need to change this bit of the circuit right here. So that block can be solid without a problem. What if I have that down there? Would that power because that block is powered? Probably not. I'll try it though. Let's put that right there. It did. It powered. You see that? It powered. It powered. It powered. It powered. It powered. That makes sense though. That's usually how that works. That's still powering it perpetually. This block here needs to be powered when this is powered. That's all there is to it. And by having it this distance, it's no longer doing what I want it to do. This right here powered though on both sides. So I think I may be overcomplicating this a little bit. If I put that block right there, the reason why I changed that to a gold block is so that I know that that's what that is. That's the only reason. So what if I did it like this and I break this, put this there instead, put another block right there, and there we go. We've made it a bit smaller. Made it taller, but I mean, it's already this tall, so honestly, what difference does that make? In fact, just to emphasize this, let's cut. And then let's go up by 1, and then we're going to paste. Oh, I said paste. There, we're up by 1. Good. Now it's proper. Now you can see the whole circuit. But this thing needs to go down by 1. Here we go. Hey, that may have solved one of my issues. Oh, just doing that alone may have solved the issue. Okay, let's try bringing this back down again. I may have just solved a major issue just by raising it up by 1 block. Stupid small things like that, eh? Okay, so if I put that there instead, and then have this here, and then the single observer. I mean, I don't even need this anymore. No, I do still need this. Because I don't want to use... The whole purpose of it is that I do not want to have to deal with too many... I don't want any extra ticks in the signal. But yeah, you see that's completely unrelated now. It's not going to cause any interference at all. Okay, let's try this again. Put that in there. Ding. Charging away. Lots of stacks being processed. 1 diamond in. So how I'm going to do this is it'd be 1 down like this. And I just need to get a line of redstone from here. It can be the other side. It doesn't need to be on that side. It could be on this side. But each one is just its own individual circuit. And all of the logic for what bus is selected can be on this side. The reason why I'm taking this bit out here and just leaving it like this is because I need it so that the module can be selected outside of powering it. So this has items in it, and the way I was doing it would have resulted in everything having to make a choice right then and there when the button is pressed, and that doesn't work. I can't have it like that. Here's the signal, and I need a selector. That selector panel needs to come out and push a signal out onto everything else. I'm going to bring this on down, I think. Can I? If I can get 4 working, I can get 8 working. That's just the fact of the matter of the situation. If I can get 4, I can get 8. Each one needs an RS NOR latch. That's all there is to it. Let's get rid of these. We don't need pistons anymore. We need RS NOR latches. That's what we need. Maybe as simple as this. Let's just see if this does the trick. The problem is that I need them all to do this. So if I just put that right there, you can see it's no longer in there, it's in there, and that means it's not going to output any signal. I just wish that I could do it in the reverse. Because if it was in the reverse, then I could take the signal out the end right there. But because it's where it is, I need to take it out from the side. And that's frustrating. What I could do to fix that is bring it down by 1. And then I could put a block right here to power that. And the other block can be right here to power that one. And that way I can take the signal out the back. And that should do the trick. Okay, so currently it is off. Did I take the redstone? I did. Okay, let's try that. There we go. Let's just put down some blocks down below here just so I can see the output. Like that. Currently nothing in there. Now it's been selected. Didn't work. I'm going to bring it down one more. Let's bring it right here. Which means I don't actually need to have it there. I could put it right here. And then I could bring it in right here for the other. That one's definitely powered now. Not a lot of space to work with now. It's too close. No, let's not do that. I could bring the signal out right here. It doesn't matter if it's going right there. I could take block right there. It doesn't need to be like that, obviously, but now we found out that powering the block directly doesn't actually do anything. Doesn't? Really doesn't. Needs to go right on down. Yeah, let's try that again. There it is. That is now officially working. Now if I hit that one, brings it on back. That's we're getting closer. This also needs to be also set up so that if that's going to do that, that's good. Each and every single one of these could hit that one. I don't think this is going to work, but let's try this. Block. Just see if it did. Okay. Okay, that's on. Now if I do 2, turns it off. On. Now turn 3. Off. Good. That's one step complete. At least doing the signal stuff for the first unit. That doesn't help the next one though. I need to go out by 1. Maybe down. Down another. And then out and put a block. Let's just see if that works. It's off right now. Let's turn it on. Now let's turn it off. There we go. Okay, so we got the first one going correctly. The other ones will now turn this one off. That's great. First part is complete. I wish I could do it the other way. If I could have it just right here, you know? I probably could. This works. I don't need to go and make this overly fancy. That works fine. The problem is when we get on to the next units, that's when it starts to become very frustrating. I was hoping to get it all squished into one, and that's also another thing, so maybe I might get rid of this. Let's try to make sure that this is all in one. And by doing it this way, this will prevent further issues. So I can put a block right there like that, and that should still work. So on, off. Good. That is one heck of a large RS NOR latch. This part's done. Now let's see if I can get this one to turn off the others. So it's on. When you hit that, this one needs to send off a signal to everything else. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take a signal off the very bottom. Very, very bottom. And I need a joint somewhere for this one. So this is this one's our Snorlatch. And I think I'm going to break this right here. I'm going to replace... What? That's not necessary. Why is it like that? Okay, I see what's going on here. Next one up. Let's say this one's going to turn on. Go like this. I could bring it down farther though. It's just a matter of like where this ends up. Like if this is powered, if this one sends out a signal, I want this block to say hey to everybody else. Oh, I'm on it. I wonder why that's working like that. I need that to send out a signal to everyone else that turns off, that activates everybody else's. So what I got going here is the circuit that turns it off for all the others. Those all turn off. This one needs to turn off all the other ones. Man, that's complicated. Let's just try to get these ones in first. So it would be like this, over 2, like that. I honestly don't even know if this gap is required, but it sure does make it easier to work. That one's on. This one, I'm going to put a single redstone dust in there for the item. And let's put in the tower of items that would go into turning it off. That makes it a little bit easier. So it's off. You know it's off, and that's all there is to it. So put this here. Still off, as it's supposed to be. And then this one here, activating to turn on. Now for this one's output. Is that the right one? Yes, it is. Good. I think this one may need to be higher up. And this one may be needing to be lower down. How about that? I need one of these somewhere in here. I'm going to put this one up by one more. And this one right here will be that. Then that one can go right here, and this one can go right there. Same design up on block. Now that is how that's supposed to be. Just prove that that right there is working. And you should see the item in here now. I need to just put something in there to go and show the fact that it is doing what it's supposed to be. Good. And when it does that, that's interesting. Okay, so first off, the moment I do that, it turns this one off, and it turns this one on. Good. We're in the right place. But if this one turns... Oh, that one's already... No, it's not looked after yet. Gotta keep that in mind. How am I going to do this? I'm going to put it through here. Try starting it by going through here. Like right here. No. Come on. I'm making this difficult for myself. There's gotta be an easier way to do this. I need to get to this block up here. And I think it needs to be the lowest common denominator kind of thing. So let's bring it on down just to make life easier for myself. Bring it down here. I think that works well. And by doing it that way, I can take the signal out from that block right there, because it's being powered. And then I'm going to put a gold block right there. So now if I do it this way, it's on. That one's already on. Okay, so if I hit this, that turns that on. And if I turn this one on, that one turns that one off, and that one's now on. Good, we're in the right place so far. Now I need 2 and 3 to be turned off by the same one. So here's 2. No, I don't want 2. This is 3. That's 2. 3. 3 needs to turn off this one. I can't have it blocked like that though. It needs to be a regular like that. So now 3 is turning that off as it should. Now I just need 4 to turn this one off. And I'm going to use a gold block for that one. So now let's turn this one back on. Now let's turn 4 on. There we go. Next I gotta go and do 3. Let's turn 2 back on again. And let's try 3. 2, 1. Good. Simple enough. So 1 and 2 are now looked after. That is some brute force observers right there, I gotta say. Holy crud. Next. I don't need this out this far. I do want it to be like this though. So let's just bring these out like this. And we can go and put in our droppers like usual. Redstone dust. Why did I take an entire stack? It was completely unnecessary. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. I'm just... this feels so brute force. The logic works, it's just very brute force. Oh man. Look at those completely uncaring faces. They just look like they're saying, "What do you mean it's brute force? We are what we are. We just observe." I need to bring it off from here, from the origin signal location. So if it comes off there, there's one. Bring it on through the side, right to here. That block's now in the way. Oh no. How about here? And then here. I feel like I'm getting closer, but let's just put it down somewhere and let's just see what happens. That's kind of the place that I want to put it, right there. Just keep in mind that right there is... Oh, that works! I could have put it down below. No, I couldn't. It needs to be right there. That's fine. And that just needs to be like that because if I put it down below there, then it's going to activate this note block, and that is not something I can do. So let's put another observer right here. Good. Redstone dust is where it's supposed to be. The one item and the dropper Ars Norlatch section. And now this is number 3, so it needs to come off here, so I can delete this. This doesn't need to be here anymore. There. No. There. Now that's in its right spot. You see how one's stepping up? And I need 2 now to turn that one off as well. So you remember you got 2 right here. And I just stopped it right there. So I can still take the signal off from here. And now I have to pull 2 from around the corner like that. And then I can put a gold block here as well to turn it off. So now 2 is hooked up. And because of the positioning of 2, I can, in fact, use 2 and 1 at the exactly the same time in order to create the input. And I have another idea to deal with multi-units, and I was thinking what I could do is cut off this unit completely from the circuit if another module is being powered. So that is also another option. So everything for the logic for 4 is complete. So it's currently on, oh, that one's not correct. Let's fix this. Put on back in here, and now it's correct. So now we have 1 currently powered. Now, if I was to click on 2, 2 should turn on, no problems. Now if we click on 3, 3 turns on, 2 turns off. Click on 1, 1 turns on, 3 turns off. Good. That is how it's supposed to work. Awesome. Okay, we're making progress. We're making progress. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to. It just feels very brute force. Now let's do the final one. And I'm gonna need a little bit more space for this one. So let's just see what I can do to make this easier for myself. This is number 2. There, immediately we've already got 2 connected up to the circuit. Now, if 3 gets off a signal right here, put like this, and then out, like that, 3 is now a problem. Delete this and go the other direction, like that. Problem fixed. Now let's just connect up 1. Now there is another thing that you could do to go and make this work, not work better. It would just require less materials. Is for every other one you could use a note block instead, and that would work perfectly fine. Be a bit weird, but it would definitely work. Okay, that's 1 connected up. 1's connected up. 2 is connected up. 3 is connected up. This is not good. I can't have 3 hanging out like that. I'm going to break this. Okay, that's problematic. 1's in the way. What if I was to go like this? Like that. And then I could take the signal off like this direction. 1's hooked up now from the bottom. Now I just need to get rid of 2. What am I going to do about 2? Because this needs to be right here. This is... Here's 3. Redstone dust on in. Put our blocks down. Now I've got 1 hooked up. Goes on through there, sends the signal up into that block there. And then I've got to figure out what to do with 2. The easier response may be that I just need to bring this up by 1 more block. Now 3 is... No, 2 is no longer connected, but 3 is connected. Ah. I got another idea. Let's do this backwards. 3, let's just make sure that I don't get this messed up and I end up forgetting for some reason. And let's hook up this one right here. 4 is now hooked up to the RS NOR latch for providing output. Great. Now I just gotta figure out how to do this bit here. So now we have... I put a gold block. No, I'm not doing that. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna go about this. Ugh, what a mess. Let's destroy these blocks just so I can see all the extra outputs. So let's start with 1. Or maybe I should start with... Yeah, then 1. 1 is gonna stretch out. And maybe even down 1. No, let's find out. Yeah, I need to stretch it down 1 like this. And then it needs to come out this side. And then up. I think I'm still doing something wrong here. Like that. This one was a lot easier to do. I don't know why that was so easy to do for this one. 3 has... I'm never going to be able to turn this into... I don't think I'm going to be able to turn this into a... With this design, this is not going to be doable at all as a tutorial. There's no way I can make this as a tutorial. It's such a mess. There's got to be an easier way to do this. I'm really struggling here to figure out what to do about this. I was kind of hoping that I could have made this a little bit more cookie cutter. As you go up higher, you end up needing more and more space. I was hoping to do it like this one. This one, it was just one single slab. It was just one slab. One block wide. All the others, 2 blocks wide now. So you got one at the very bottom. You know, if I brought this down farther, like, it's not like this needs to be this high up. I could put it down all the way down here. Now let's see what that does. So just remember, that's 3. Just bring these all out. 3, 2, and 1. So if I bring this one out to here, I've got a gold block that goes into there. And then... See, now I've just cut myself off. I would need to go like this once again. No, it doesn't work. I'm just basically going back just to square one of what I just did. There's one. The reason why this is happening is because all the other ones I could circle over above, and here I'm having to go below. So I think I'm going to go with that. That's fine. If I just put one out, it's just not enough room. What I need to do is go like this, bring it down by 1, and then bring it on out like that. Now 2's hooked up, and then 3 will be easy. Just go like that, and then hooked it up. There we go. It's done. It's also super thick. Like, that's just all observers. I mean, it works. It works. I know it works. I'm just not impressed with myself with this level of brute force. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. It's as simple as that, guys. I have a selector working. I've got a selector working. What I don't have is a way to integrate that into this. This is basically just an AND gate. This needs to be on in order for that to be on. 2 different redstone lines. Let's be like this. And I need to bring the signal out from the side. And those are a dual AND gate, is what I'm dealing with there. I hope this doesn't interrupt this signal here. This needs to be brought all the way out to here. And that's all there is to it. Just turns this one off. That's all it's doing. Just turn this one off, okay? That one's being turned off. Put it on the redstone line. I'm just trying to get the one module hooked up for the moment. If I can get one module hooked up, I will feel okay about this. So I was thinking that what I'm going to do is I'm going to take advantage of this block here. I'm going to power that, put a block right here to cut that line there, put a repeater right here. That block is now powered, and then I can put another block right here. Power that block. And then I can bring the signal on out through here. Maybe I could put it right there. Redstone dust, still active, good. And now I can bring my signal out here. It's full straight signal, so that's good. And I just need to bring it over to here. Dust across there like that. That should do the trick. And then I have another torch there, like that. That should work. So now if I put one right there... Oh no. I forgot about something. I just made an OR gate instead of an AND gate. Oh, well, we make this a little bit less complicated. I'm making this too complicated for an AND gate. For goodness sakes. Torch, torch. There. Fine. There. There we go. Oh, that one reaches all the way to the end. This is the one that is going to be problematic, I think. Maybe not. Okay. So with this one, I need to put a couple of repeaters down. I could eliminate that. I can eliminate that if... Like, that needs to be like that. But I could put it like this instead. I'm just worried about signal... the signal bleeding out and through. And then I could put it like this and put it on through there. There. That did the trick. And then I'll just keep going until all the diamonds are gone. There, all the diamonds are gone. No, all of the diamonds are not gone yet. Yes, all the diamonds are gone. Why is that still powered? Oh. There, now it's no longer powered. That one's done though. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to. And this one here, I can in fact take the signal and extend it out to all the other ones as well. So it can turn off for every single one of them, like this redstone torch here. So what I might in fact do, just to make it even simpler for myself, what I might do to make it simpler is I could put a block right here instead, like that. And then, yes, it will be a little bit longer, but man, this is going to be the longest of all of them, so who cares? Right there is where it stops. That's fine. There we go, it's on. There we go. Ding, and that's off. And it's being repowered now. Now let's try something else here. Let's hit this. That's no longer powered, which means that it's being lit up by both. So if there's diamonds present, that AND gate is going to not allow any diamonds to be pushed through until this one is selected. And the interesting thing here is that one is always selected. So if they put diamonds in, the amusing thing here, at least as far as I'm concerned, is no matter what, it's going to take the diamond. Every time. It's going to see it, it's going to take it, and it's just going to wait till... It's either going to spit out the items, or it's going to wait till there's items present. Guys, I think that's all we're going to be doing for this extremely long stream. I don't usually do three and a quarter hour long streams. It usually happens with Redstone, though. Thank you guys all for hanging out with me on another stream of the Redstone Scholar here. Thank you guys all for watching. See you guys.